Hello my beautiful people, I congratulate you all for making it to this free picture editing training. I am going to guide you patiently on how you can edit stunning images as a beginner. Even if you know nothing about picture edit, don't worry, don't bother. I'll hold you by the hands and help you become a perfect picture editor. I am Akugoma, your editing lioness. I am going to be your instructor for this class. I will teach you how to avoid posting boring images for yourself and your loved ones on social media, and how to make money editing pictures for people. So we are going to start from the scratch. Today, I'm going to give you an overview of the best picture editing app which is used by top professional picture editors. So calm down, take note of all we are going to learn in this class. Do not take this class for granted because it's a free class. You are going to get more value here than in most paid masterclasses. Without much introduction, let's dive right into the tutorial. The app that I'm talking about is called Lightroom. It's available both on Android and on iPhone and even your system, but this tutorial is going to be based on your mobile phone. So let's go. Now to start with, you go to your Play Store and download the app. I say the app is Lightroom. Look at it here. So once you open the app, it's going to link you directly to your gallery. So now the first thing you need to do is to select the image that you want to edit. So now I've selected the image. So we are going to be learning how to use all these elements in the Lightroom. In fact, these elements will link you to other elements in the Lightroom. So the first one we see there is presets. Preset simply means pre-configured set of adjustments that you can apply to your image with just one click. So here, if you don't want to bother your brain, you just click there. It does all the magic for you. Do you see it? Can you see? You can pick any of these presets, but I'm not going to show you how to do more, how to adjust more, how to get more from this preset. So I'm going to show you how you can edit your images from the scratch. Remember, that's what I told you. So now the first one is crop. We all know what crop is. Crop, we all know what it is, right? So just like the normal way you crop your images with your camera or your gallery, this is what it means. But only thing is that this one helps you to, it does more adjustments. Like this, it can flip. Like this is flip. It can flip up and down. It can flip sideways. It can rotate. You know normally how we rotate. It can straighten. Like this, your image is not straight. You can use this to adjust. You understand what I'm showing you? You can adjust it. Assuming your image is not straight, you can use this. You can as well change the aspect ratio of your image. Maybe your image, you want to post it on TikTok, on Instagram or Facebook. You know, each of them have their particular aspect ratio. So I don't want to waste much time on crop. So let's go right into the deeper part of it. The main part of it is editing. So now this is edit. You click on it and it's going to show you much things to do. If you notice here, there are so many options here. I'm going to show you how to use those options. I hope you're with me. So the first thing you need to adjust in your image is light. So you click on light. Under light, you have exposure. This exposure is going to help you to adjust the brightness or the darkness of your image. Assuming your image is dark, maybe you snapped it in the night, you can use the exposure to increase the lightning. And when you are using exposure, ensure not to overdo. One thing with image editing is you should try not to overdo. That is it. Then the contrast, we see contrast here, right? Is another powerful tool you can use to adjust the visual of your image. You see what I'm saying? So this contrast is used to adjust the tonal range of your image and then the visual interest. Do you see it? As I increase, the tone is increasing and decreasing. So that is it. Then you have the highlights. This helps to reduce the image exposure, maybe exposure to light, exposure to fog, and all the rest of them. It helps to reduce it. So once you are done adjusting this, the next place to go is the shadows. Like some images will have, you see shadows on the faces, on everywhere. You can as well use the shadows to reduce that. So this my image does not have much shadow, so I'm going to leave it back the way it is. So now the whites, if there are whites in the images, this white helps to highlight them, to increase them. Then the blacks, you see the blacks, it darkens. Assuming it's too dark, you can as well use it to increase it. You use to adjust the black shapes. So that is it. Then when you are done adjusting the lightning, the next place to go in is your color. So the first thing you see there, if you look closely, is B and W. That is the black and white. I mean, you just want your image to be black and white, you can just click there and it gives you that. But if that is not what you want, just leave the image and then adjust all these things. We start with the temperature. The temperature has to correct some lighting issues. You see, assuming your picture is this way, when you put it, you can just reduce the temperature. Do you see it's becoming calm to look at? But don't over adjust it, because it will change ambience of the image altogether. So what you need to do, you can just adjust the temperature to so that your image will be calm to behold. Then tint is just fine-tuning the color balance, then adjusting both the green and the blue. You can just tint it a bit. You see, do you see other colors are coming in? Do you see? So all this, you just tint it a bit if you wish. Then the vibrance has to do with adjusting the saturation of your image. You know, one thing with images, every image you want to edit has a purpose why you are editing it. So that is what you'll be looking at when you are editing your image. You know what you want to achieve, that is where you focus. So this vibrance helps your image to achieve a natural color. Do you get it? Then the saturation, this is used for adjusting the intensity or otherwise of a color. Do you see the way as I'm increasing it, the colors of my dressing is increasing, the colors of the green background is also increasing. You can as well use it to reduce. Do you see? To reduce the intensity of the color. So mostly it's used to highlight the natural colors. So once you're done with your color, if you wish your image to be blur, maybe you want to blur your image background, you can use this. It's used to the blur is used for blurring the background of your image, but for now we don't need that. So now we go to effect. This is where the cocoa of your adjustments is. I hope you're following. Make sure to take note of all these things I'm talking about. If you look at the effect, the first thing we have there is, okay, sorry, there is something I missed. This color grading, I talked about color grading. You can as well use color grading to just adjust your image. You see, when it comes to orange, it adjusts the intensity. If it's green, it adjusts it. Do you understand? You can just use color grading to adjust your image, or you can just use the color mix. This is where I love using most of the time. Assuming in this picture you just want only the green to increase and not every other thing to be affected, you just click on green and either increase the hue, the saturation, the luminance. The luminance has to do with adding a shiny. The luminance adds shiny to your images. It makes the image to look very beautiful. So you can increase the luminance and all the rest of them. For the green, so now you want to adjust the orange, you can click on the orange button and also adjust it. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. It's reduce. Do you see the hue? Then the saturation increases the brightness, and then the luminance. You want it to be shiny. So that's it. So once you are done adjusting each and every of the colors that you have there you want to adjust, you click on done. Then we go to effect. You have the texture. So the texture is used to increase clarity of an image and reduce noise, and then create more natural look. As I'm increasing you see the picture is becoming clearer. That is also what the clarity is used to increase the image definition. That's the, like you see some images they have high definition, some have low definition, and then to make the image look more detailed and create more natural look. Like as I'm increasing it, you see the image is becoming very clear, very clear. But one thing with this is, once you are increasing the clarity, don't overdo. One thing with image editing is you just do everything natural, moderately, so that your image will look natural and beautiful. Then the haze, the haze is used for reducing the fog. Is used to reduce the fog or haze of an atmosphere. Like when your image have some atmospheric condition, like assuming I snap my image and it came this way, you see that there are fog on the image, so the haze is helped to reduce it and make your image look more detailed and natural. Then when we come to vignette, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that well, please, I don't know, but I'm just going to show you how to use this. Is used to create a more subtle and gradual darkening or lightening of an image, like you see, and then it points the attention more to the center of the image. Like my picture, I am myself is the center, you see it. If you want to use the dark rendition, you use all the dark rendition. So now when you increase it, then you use midpoint to either expand or to increase it. Do you see what I'm saying? Then the same thing, feather, add some feathers to it, and then roundness, how round and it is. So that's how to use this. But I don't know, I don't think I want to draw more attention to this, so I'm going to remove it altogether. I'm going to return it back to 0. I'm going to return everything back to 0. So we go to grain. In grain, just simply give your image some more subtle film-like feeling, like that kind of nostalgic feeling to your image. You understand me? It gives them more organic feeling, and it can also use it to create more vintage images. Vintage, like that time when we were young, before the NTA news starts, you see the TV do shh. That is what this grain, it has that vintage, like that olden day kind of images. That is what is used for. Like if you are to look closely to this image, you see the grain on it. It had that vintage um effect on it. So but I don't want to do that. I don't want to add vintage to the image. So let's head on. I'll now go to details. Under details we have sharpening. Under details we have sharpening, which helps to increase the definition of your image. It helps to increase those images you see that they have high definition, and it focuses. That is what it does. Then noise has to do with all those luminance that appear as speckles or grain. Like when I say vintage, like all those vintage images that has those grain, you just use this to reduce it. Do you see it? You use it to reduce it altogether. That's what the noise. You can as well reduce some noise on the color. You see, you can reduce them, but I don't think my image has any of those things. Now look at the before and the after of this image. The before and the after. So we've really gone a long way with this image. So that is it. There are so many things to do with this image. By the time we are done with this image, you will see how classical the image will look like. So now I won't be able to explain everything that this app can be used for in just this first tutorial. In my subsequent classes, I'm going to be teaching you how those images that you see online are achieved, like with classical finishing, smooth, everything. In fact, everything you need to know about picture edit, I'll be guiding you, carrying you by the hand. Once you're done editing your image, click on these three dots, and then you click on save to device. You click on save to device and have the image saved in your device. Now there are so much more we can learn from this app, which I will show you, like in my subsequent videos. I will show you how you can have access to this community and all the rest of them, and then what you can benefit. Even if you're not a professional, you don't have time for all these my long grammars, and you can still edit your pictures professionally. You can just go to communities. You can only have access to these communities if you're using the pro version of this app. So if you're only using the pro version, there are so much benefits you have. So that is it, my beautiful people. I don't want this tutorial to be so long. I'm going to be cutting it here. We'll see in my next class. Don't forget, I am still your editing lioness, Akugoma.